Poloni.
Mr. Chair, I've got a few questions for the Minister and I guess a few responses to some of the stuff that she's just said as well. I guess firstly I just want to raise the issue around the fact, again, because the Minister may not have heard this earlier argument, that actually this technical error was committed in 1998 when this bill went through urgency in a similar way to what we're seeing now. So I guess, is the Minister concerned that when we rush legislation like this through, like as was done in 1998, that these errors do occur because of the fact that we don't have anyone looking over it, we don't have any of our officials giving us advice, the Auditor-General hasn't had an opportunity to look at it. So is she concerned that that may happen again? Because really we don't want to be back here in 17 years' time correcting a technical error that happened 17 years beforehand to correct a technical error that had happened 17 years beforehand whilst it went through urgency. Mr. Chair, the Minister has brought up the number of people that they think may have been impacted by this. So she said 2.7 million. She hasn't mentioned any fiscal cost, but we know that this was highlighted in the departmental disclosure statement. It says basically that provisions in the bill have retrospective effect and that the retrospective provisions can be justified because of three different things, including apparently financial costs to the Crown, but we have no figures. And actually, even in this departmental disclosure statement, it points out the fact that there are no numbers or no figures around what this could potentially cost. The Minister has said that 8,500 people have made claims so far. I guess, with that in mind, what is the rate of application that's gone on here? And I know that really the application started to be made after the government started to pay out. So I know that there was an increase in the number of claims that were being put forward once people knew that they could actually get paid out. So I just want to know from the Minister what that rate of claim has been. So have they been getting 1,000 a day since then? Because then we could maybe anticipate 6 weeks down the track, if they were to delay the commencement date, as I've asked for in my SOP, potentially what the cost to the Crown would be. But at the moment, we're going blind because there is nothing here that we can see with regards to costings or anticipated costs for the Crown if they were to open it up so that all of those people could make a claim, or, as we suggested, have that small window of opportunity for people to make a claim. The Minister talked about the reason why there is no regulatory impact statement and has cited the fact that these are technical changes as a reason for not having a regulatory impact statement. And I just want to point out that I did look this up because I was interested to see where there would be a rationale for not having a regulatory impact statement. What I've found is, 3.1 exemptions. The value of completing even a modest regulatory impact statement is likely to be limited in some circumstances, such as those where the potential proposals would result in little or no change to the status quo legislative position or would have no or very small impacts outside of government. See, that makes me question the Minister on what she was saying, because actually this doesn't have no or very small impacts outside of government. This has huge impacts outside of government because of the number of people, 2.7 million people, that the Minister cited as having gone on or having gone through a stand-down period to go on a benefit over the last 17 years. So I think it's not fair to say that the government are justified in not producing a regulatory impact statement, because I don't think any person in this room would think that the potential to affect 2.7 million people outside of here, clearly, is something that wouldn't have an impact. So I really would like the Minister to speak to that. Again, I'd like her to answer the question around the rate in which the claims have been coming in, so we can get some idea of potentially what that 6-week window of opportunity would mean for those people in terms of cost. I'd like to know at this stage what the average amount people have been claiming for or what they have been eligible to receive, so the Minister would know in terms of those who have already been paid out what the average amount is that's been paid out there. How many days have they been claiming for? Has it just been the one day that the Minister mentioned, Mr. Chair?